follow-up. We've seen videos of babies being hefted over the barbed wire and walls and U.S. servicemen taking them on. Can you tell us what's going on? Are these babies of families who have visas, have U.S. passports? Are they Afghans? Are they people with credentials?
So
what's happening to their
I have the
families?
details.
Okay, yeah.
The video you're talking about, the parent asked the Marines to look after the baby because the baby was ill. And so the Marine you see reaching it over the wall took it to a Norwegian hospital that's at the airport. They treated the child and returned the child to the child's father.
Was there only one?
I'm only aware of the one incident.
Okay.
But it was an act of compassion because there was concern about the
Are they going to
babies.
be brought out, the
I don't
father,
know
or
that.
were they put back outside the airport?
I don't know, Jen. The baby was returned to its father. I don't know I don't know where they are now. We don't. I mean, obviously, we have a responsibility to return a child to the child's parent, and I don't know who the parent is and whether whether they're an SIV applicant or I don't have that level of detail. But I think this was a very humane act of compassion by the Marines, and it's exactly the kind of skill and professionalism the General talked about. I already got you. Go ahead.
I have a question for the General. Sir, I was wondering if now that the airport is secure, if you could take us back to the breach that occurred on Monday.
Okay.
What's the latest assessment of how that occurred? What forces were in the area of that part of the airport at the time, and what was the interaction there?
As we know early on, as we built combat power, and in that early stages, it was very dynamic. We assessed after that happened, and obviously reinforced, and throughout those days have ensured that the 360-degree perimeter is. I don't have the tactical AAR. That was not a requirement to pass that up to the Joint Staff. But what I do know is that that was quickly, fixed, and the commanders there were able to use the assets they had, immediately. And then as we built more combat power to ensure that hasn't happened since then.
Was there any interaction with the Taliban ongoing on this?
Always. I mean, like I said earlier, that communication at that level is continuous and happening.
Okay, we got time for just one more, and I haven't taken in, hardly any from the phones. Therese.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Going back to the children that were being passed over the wall, is there going to be any, regulations stating that this should not be happening, to kind of regulate that parents aren't taking their children and trying to pass them off to get them inside the gate?
I know of no such effort to do that, Therese. Again, these are U.S. servicemen and women deployed in a still dangerous and difficult mission. And I think what you saw there is the same thing that you saw when that Air Force jet packed to capacity with people wanting to get out. They're doing the best they can to be as compassionate as they can. And again, the baby was not harmed. It was treated for whatever the illness was and returned to the father. And I think you're seeing, again, these men and women incredibly brave, doing the best they can to be as compassionate as they can. And I think you're going to continue to see that kind of compassion going forward. Okay, guys, we got to get going. Thank you very much.